Guess what, y'all? Story time. What's up, YouTube fam? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you all. To my new viewers, hello. Thank you for joining the fam today. Today I do have another story time for you guys. I'm telling you, I have story times for days. My channel originally wasn't supposed to be for story times. I was gonna do other things. However, I guess I'm gonna throw a little story times here and there. Life stuff, advice. It's just gonna be a bunch of whatever, honestly. Before I go any further, make sure y'all go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of seconds to do that. Go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Y'all done? Okay, cool. Yeah, I just need you all to go ahead and do that because it really does help my channel. You know, I am still new to YouTube. I'm really still trying to figure this thing out. So whenever you all can, subscribe to my channel, tell people about my channel. I really appreciate it, you guys. All I want is 1,000 subscribers and that 4,000 watch hours, and I'm on my way, honestly. And let's jump into the story, y'all. I already let y'all know that it's kind of long, and the crazy thing about it is so much happened with this ex. Like, I haven't had many exes. I have dated, and then I have exes. However, this ex, oh, he was just so toxic, y'all. So I'm gonna just let me get into the story. All right, so I was dating this guy. Long story short, it did not work out. He was just always lying. He was lying about the dumbest stuff. I'm telling y'all, the sky could be blue, and I'm like, "Hey, what color is the sky?" He'll say purple. I look at it, it's blue, and I'm like, "Why? Why you lying?"
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
I don't know. That'll be his answer. And it never made sense to me. I'm like, yo, like he just lied about everything. And he was always begging in the relationship. Like, crazy thing was, he did not do all this crazy begging and needing this and needing that and want. Like, it was crazy, man. Like, it's time for, like, we did not stay together long because I was over that stuff. I'm not the type, like, to sit here and take care of no man. And I did that long enough in this relationship. So let me just give y'all a brief rundown of the relationship before I jump into this event. This was like one of the events that really ended us. What made me leave him. So he and I met. We started talking. Honestly, he jumped in my inbox. Guys always hit me up on Facebook. I just realized that. And they be horrible.
You're horrible. You're horrible.
But anywho, he jumped in my inbox and he just kept reaching out. And I kept ignoring him. I would read his comments. Sometimes I wouldn't even open up the message. I would just, let it do what it do. So eventually we end up talking. After I answered his message, we end up talking and stuff. And he was like real stoked about like seeing me and stuff. And I think we went out on a date and stuff and all this and third. So anyway, fast forward. This part here that I'm telling you guys about today is going to be towards the end of the relationship. So, as time progressed, we were only together for a couple of months. And I had so many issues with this dude. Then he always had to be in some girl's face. Like, he always had to have female friends. And me, I'm really secure in myself, okay? I have no issues with a man having female friends. But when it gets to the point that you're always talking about your female friends, or you're always wanting to go chill with them, or you're always wanting to do whatever, or if I say something somewhat out of the way about them, you jump to that offense. When it's like that, I'm like, okay, something is going on. So he did have, excuse me, y'all drop crumbs. He had a particular girlfriend. He probably did date, I think. Anyway, he had this friend. Her name, we're gonna call her Layla. And he and Layla, like, they were joined at the hip. Anytime I turn around, she was always calling. He was always calling her. If he wasn't at the house that day, because he and I, we did see each other, but we didn't see each other like every day. We'll see each other like once a week or something like that, if we could. It's crazy because I always had jobs that kept me busy, but I thank God, because in a way, it was really a blessing in disguise, because although he was my boyfriend, I don't think I wasn't in love with him. Like, I cared about him. I cared about him, but I wasn't in love with him. He and this girl, they were always talking, texting, like, it was just weird. It was a weird vibe to me. Anytime I brought it up or said something about it, oh, you, what's up with you? Why you always got to be like that? You so insecure, this, that, and third. And I'm like, sweetheart, I have nothing to be insecure about, but what y'all doing is disrespectful because every time I turn around, you're always up her tail. And I'm your girlfriend. So what's going on? So time progressed, continued to talk to this girl, and they was so-called best friends. Now, she did have a boyfriend, but if I'm not mistaken, her boyfriend had an issue with them hanging out as much as they did too. So after a while, their interactions with each other kind of simmered down. But this particular night, what name I'm gonna give my ex? Sam. Yeah, we're gonna go with Sam. Yeah, I guess. Alright, so this night, Sam came over to the house or whatever. And I remember like it was yesterday. Sam was due to get a tattoo. So I was like, all right, cool. Sam didn't have a car. Something was wrong with his car. And he never got his car like taken care of. He was always hopping on his homeboys' cars, or he was always using their cars, or they were always picking them up, taking them places or whatever. And I didn't like that. I thought that was kind of like bummy vibes. But anyway, that's what took place. So this day he came to the house and he had an appointment to go get a tattoo. And I think if I'm not mistaken, his homeboy dropped him off at the house. So he came over the house. He was due to get a tattoo. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll go ahead and take you over there. As we're driving, mind y'all, I said before he was always begging and always needing stuff. So we on the way there. We are literally like a block from the place. And almost pulling up, he's like, oh, by the way, I'm a couple dollars short. Bruh. Every time I turn around, you're always a couple dollars short. So I remember I didn't even look at him while I'm driving. I'm still driving. And I was like, what do you need? Because by that time, I was in that part of the relationship, I was already like pretty much over him. He needed an extra $100. And I was like, and I was thinking to myself, like, dang, you always needing money, bruh. But you can never help me out. Even when you get paid, you never can help me out. And y'all, I always had good jobs that paid well. So I'm like, dang, like it really pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie. So for a minute, I ain't say nothing. Like after I asked him what he needed, he told me, I ain't say nothing else. We pulled up in the parking lot. I sat in the car for a minute, and he was like, come on, babe, don't be like that. You got me. I'm saying to myself, you broke. Why you even getting a tattoo? That was my number one thing. So I looked at him. I was like, yo, if you knew you ain't had no money, why you just didn't cancel your appointment? Well, you know, I've been trying to get this guy right here to do this tattoo for a minute and one. And the whole time he talking, he sounded like the little Charlie Brown was like. That's all I was hearing. So if I'm not mistaken, I think I cashed out him the money. And so I sat in the car for a minute. Because once I cashed out him the money, he was like, thanks, babe. I love you. I appreciate you so much. You just don't know. You mean the world to me. And I remember he tried to like grab on me to kiss me. And I was just like, nah, man. Go ahead. He was like, nah, don't be like that. Don't do me like that. And I was like, nah, man. I said, I'm tired. I'm done. And he could tell, like, the way I was in the car, like, my voice was monotone. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I really didn't even want him to come over that day. Like, I was just so done with him. Y'all know how when somebody has really drained you to the point where you just don't care. Like, if they walked out of your life and you never saw them again, you just like, oh. That's how I felt. Like, and I had been feeling that way for a long time. And I had been contemplating for a while, you know, like just breaking up with him. But I didn't. He was like, well, you gonna come up and see? Because I know you want to get a tattoo as well. And mind y'all, I do have tattoos. They're just small and like in hidden places. And I had mentioned before that I did want to go get a tattoo. But dang, every time I turn around, he would always take my money. So I couldn't, you know, I wasn't even thinking about tattoos at the time. I said, you know, I'm going to sit here for a minute. I'll be up. He was like, come on, just come in with me. You know, you can see it from start to finish. Right now, I'm not really feeling this. I had plans for my money. And granted, it was $100. And some people say that's not a lot. But at the end of the day, it's my money. That's how I felt. It was a lot to me. And I don't care if it was $1. This dude was always begging, so it always seemed like a lot to me. Hold on, y'all. I got a drink. I'm thirsty. Hold on. He goes upstairs first. And he's upstairs for a couple of minutes or whatever. I wanted to get my stuff together. I didn't really, want to be, I didn't want to be, the negative Nancy around everybody. So once I got myself together, I went upstairs. And I sat down. But it was like, I lie to y'all not. I was good when I was walking up the steps to go to the shop. But then the moment I sat down, I just got mad. So I'm just sitting there, I'm getting heated and I'm getting more upset. And I'm just like, yo, I need to leave or whatever. So Sam did introduce me to the guy and vice versa or whatever. And I spoke to him. And so then after that, I was like, hey, I'm going to just go to the mall and get a couple of things. Oh, okay. He was like, you don't want to wait for me? I was like, no, I need to go get some stuff. Oh, okay. All right, then. And I know he saw my facial expression at that time because anytime I wanted to go get something or do something, well, can you give me something? Can you do this? Can you lend me this? Can you send me that? It was like, dang, you worse than the dudes on the corner.
Give me $1, man. Ching.
Like, always asking and begging. Ugh. So anyway, I left. I go to the mall or whatever. I think I linked with my sister too. I don't know. She like called me or something, and she could sense the aggravation in my voice. Now, that's not you, Ree. I'm gonna come meet you. Where are you? So I told her where I was, and we went to the mall, just walking around. I was just talking to her, just letting her know. I didn't tell her verbatim at that time what was going on, but I just told her, yo, I'm exhausted, tired. I'm done. And she was like, Ree, what's up? So I started hinting at certain things, and she could put two and two together, and she knew I was ready to be done with Sam. So she said, it seemed like you haven't been like happy in a long time. Every time I turn around, you working, and then he always begging. I said, you know what, you're right. I'm tired. I'm always thinking about other people's feelings and putting people's feelings before mine. It's time to put me first now. So we go to the mall or whatever. After a while of my sister and I being at the mall, walking around, we did a little shopping and stuff. And then I think eventually I was like, man, let me just go home and like clear my head. Because I knew it was going to take a long time because the tattoo he wanted was expensive. So I went to the house and I needed to do something on my computer. But my computer was like shy. It was really slow. And I was like, okay, I ain't got time for this. When after Sam had stopped by, he had brought his computer by. So I was like, yo, let me use his. So I go on his computer. He had a lot of stuff open. So let me close his stuff out. So I go close stuff out. And out of nowhere, I see a picture of a girl. And the girl was Layla. But it wasn't like a regular picture. It was a picture of her on his bed. And I knew what his bed looked like. I knew what his wall, like his background of his stuff looked like. I knew it. It wasn't anything provocative, but it was just the fact that she was laying on his bed, and it was a fairly recent picture. So when I saw the picture, I was like,
bitch. B-I-C-T-H.
I got something for you. And at that time though, it was like, I had gotten upset, but was so done. I couldn't even pop off. I didn't explode. I didn't do anything crazy. It was just like, yo, I'm done. So I remember I took a picture of that picture of Layla, and I sent it to him. So what is this? And he texted me back real quick. What you doing on my computer? You're not supposed to be in there. I was like, that's not what I asked you. What is this? He was like, it ain't nothing. She just took that picture. That picture's old. So I zoomed in, like after I took the picture, I zoomed in on the picture, and then I took a screenshot of like the timestamp that was on the picture. And I sent it to him, and I was like, so how is that old? He was like, no, it ain't nothing like that. He was like, Ree, it's nothing. It was an old picture. I've been updating just came up with a whole bunch of dumb stuff. And like I said, y'all, I was done with him. Before I left, I had gotten so fed up. I took his bag. He had this, it was like I don't know if it was a Nike gym bag or it was like a Jordan gym bag. He brought that with him, and he brought some other stuff, like some clothes and stuff. And I ended up putting it in the car, but I put it in the front seat. So I remember packing all his stuff. I got his stuff. I said my little prayer while I was in the car. His stuff was in the front seat with me. I mean, it was loaded in the front seat. And I was like, you know what? I'm taking him back. So I'm going to take him to his place. So I went to go pick him up. He came downstairs after I texted him and I told him here. I was like, here. He came downstairs and he started like looking at me, and he was walking towards the car but real slow. So he proceeds to get in the front seat. I looked at him. I was like, in the back. And he was like, it's because I didn't unlock the door yet. I was like, get in the bed. So he got in the back seat. He was like, man, here you go with this mess. He was like, what's wrong with you? The picture wasn't that serious. I said, I don't want to hear it. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm burnt out. I don't want you no more. I can't stand. I was saying some crazy stuff. Y'all, I was hateful that day. But it was like, I didn't even scream. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't arguing. Every time he tried to say something, I was in that car talking to him in this straight monotone low voice. And I was like, I'm done with you. I don't have nothing else to say. I'm going to take you to your place. And I'm never going to talk to you again. We're done. I am done with you. So he was like, no, you're not done with me. We're going to talk about this. We're going to get this straight. I was like, there's nothing else for me to say. We are done. I have nothing for you. So, mind y'all, I'm driving home. Do you know what this clown says? Man, let me call Layla because you just don't believe anything. I said, call Layla you want to. I'm throwing you and your stuff out my car. What do? He calls Layla. So, I hear him back there. First, it sounded like he was texting. But then, I think he ended up calling. And then next thing I know, he put on speakerphone. He was like, Layla, what's up? What you doing? Y'all, I saw all of hell fire. I'm telling y'all, I have never in my life gotten so mad. Well, no, I'm lying. I have. But that's not the point. I got so mad, y'all. I slammed on brakes in the middle of the highway. I said, oh, so you gonna call her anyway? You gonna call her? So I said, okay, I got something for you. And I remember, I don't know what the little building was, but it was the main highway. And then from the highway, you can like make a right turn and go off on this little like side road that kind of runs with the highway. But on that little side road, it was like little businesses and stuff. So I said, okay, I got something for you. So he was like, no, never mind. He said, later, never mind. I'll call you back later. Never mind. He hung up on her. He was like, man, I just want to get everything straight because I don't want you to be mad at me and da da da. I ain't say nothing else. From that second, I did not say anything else. And I was not playing with him. So I saw this little brick building. It said, I stopped my car in the middle of the street again. I got out my car. He's still pleading, trying to talk, do all this. Mind you, he's in the back seat. I walk around the back of the car. I don't even know why I walked around the back of the car. But I walked around the back of the car, I remember, because by the time I was making it on his side, he was trying to open the door to get out, and I pushed the door closed. And then I grabbed the front door. I grabbed all his stuff and I threw it right there on the side of the street. I slung the bag. I think the laptop was in the bag, but that didn't break, y'all. I threw the bag. It was some coats, it was some shoes. I was slinging stuff, just slinging it.
Here, it's time for you to go. Take your shit. Take your shit.
Man.
Bye.
Slinging. He was like, you stupid. Oh my God, you crazy as F. You this, that, and third. So then at that point, after I slung all the stuff out, I closed the door. He ended up, like, by the time I'm throwing stuff out, he decides to get out, and he's trying to, like, get the stuff. He's not even worried about getting in the car anymore. So, I remember he shut the door. I walked towards the front of the car, got in the car, and I pulled the fuck off. I was done with him. At that moment, I didn't care how he had gotten home. I didn't care what happened to him. I didn't care that it was pouring down raining that day. I didn't care. I was like, bye-bye. I sped off. I see him in the middle of the road. He's picking up his stuff, yes. And like I said, it was pouring down raining. I get home. I remember on the way home, I would call my sister and told her about it. So she was like, nah, you got to tell me this. So then when I get home, I'm telling my sister. And next thing I know, I'm feeling really bad, though. By the time I got home, like, it had gotten dark. Like, I was pissed as heck. But I had never done anything like that before. Like, just took somebody's stuff and threw it out on the side of the road. And nah, like, I ain't throw nobody's stuff out. And then just to leave them there and left them stranded. I never done that before. Y'all, so I'm talking to my sister. She was like, nah, he deserve it. Don't you feel bad for him? And this, that, and the third. I was like, well, let me at least call him. So I call him. He ain't answer. I call him. He ain't answer. I called him. He ain't answer. I said, okay, Sinead. Well, yeah, y'all know my sister. I said, okay, Sinead. So I talked to my sister again. I'm like, yo, he ain't answering the phone. What should I do? She was like, forget him. He ain't worth now. He ain't no good. And at very moment I broke, y'all, I cried. I cried one of the craziest cries because it was like I was so tired. And I wasn't even, it wasn't even about him. I didn't, like, honestly, I did not cry over him at all. It was more so I was tired of people doing me wrong. All right, time out, y'all. But it was like at that point in my life, I had been so down and so, like, I was so over it. Like, and not even with just him, just stuff leading up to it. From family doing you a type of way to friends doing you a type of way to men, you get tired. And you be like, Lord, like, yo, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I'm a good person. Like, I do what I can for people. I don't bother people. I keep to myself. I really do. Like, y'all, I don't have friends like that because of... Those would be other story times later on. But yeah, like, I don't rock with people. I don't. So like I said, y'all, I'm crying. I'm boohoo crying. And my sister, she could tell, like, it was one of those, it was like a cry of, like, exhaustion. Like, I was so exhausted, I just broke down crying. So as I'm crying, my phone, now mind you, I was just on my phone, I placed my phone down. Next thing you know, I get an alert. And then the alert kept coming through on my phone. It was like, ding, 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 like back to back. And I'm like, what kind of alert is this? And it kind of threw me off because in the midst of my crying, I was praying and trying to get everything out because I was empty. Like, I'm sitting here like, yo, what is this? I pick up my phone. I get a notification, a fraud alert from Discover. So, y'all, when I have, of course, everybody have credit cards. I try not to use my credit cards like that. I just keep them because, I mean, we need credit to get whatever in life. So most of the time, I have my cards. And I have the app to whatever card I have on my phone. I had someone go into my banking account like back in the day. So when it came to my credit card, yeah, and my bank card too, I always like froze it or locked it until I was ready to use it. So that's what happened this particular day. On it said fraudulent activity, logged. Did you attempt to make this purchase? And I see a purchase of $40 and like, it was like 40 some cent. And I was like, what? And I looked and it said Uber. I said, what? I said, I'm sitting right here. Like, what is going on? So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what the heck is going on? So, like, yo, I picked up my phone. I quickly called, like, and they attempted to get it. They did not get through with it. However, I did call Discover, and like within everything that I'm sitting here crying, just left my ex, sitting here crying, trying to get myself together. I'm praying, fraudulent activity. It was just so much going on. It was crazy that day. So I'm talking to Discover, and they was like, yeah, we see there was an attempt for a $40 and some change purchase on your card coming from Uber. I said, ma'am, I lie to you not. I'm in my room. My card is frozen for reasons like this. I was like, that's not me. She was like, well, do you want another card? Within that sentence, it hit me. That raggedy tail Sam somehow got my card number. And y'all, what's crazy is that I don't even know how he got my card number. I don't know how he got my card information. But he had my card information, y'all. And he tried to use it to freaking go catch a ride. So then here it is. I was like, you know what, this
Raggedy bitch.
So I'm talking to them or whatever. And they was like, you want a new card? They was like, you can't keep this one. You know, you got the account frozen. You're just going to get alerts if it's ever used again. And I was like, I said, nah, I'll keep this card. Because although I didn't use the card a lot, I would pay certain small bills with it so I can keep building my credit. I got bills connected to it. So I unlock it when I know the bill is going to make its withdrawal. And then after that, I go back and lock the card. After that, y'all, that shifted my whole mindset, and it just sat in complete quietness for a while. And I'm thinking like, dang, he stole like my card information, y'all. Mind you, he done got me for money so many times in the past. I had just paid for a portion of his tattoo that day. It was just always stuff with him, y'all. Done. I remember Being that he didn't respond, I text him. I said, you know what? And I want to scam him a little bit. I said, you know what? I see that you attempted to use my car for Uber. I said, however, I hope you still sitting on the side of the road. My card is locked, and your payment is not going to go through. You are one pathetic, low-down dude. I said, for you to sit here and use me and be the way you were the entire relationship, only for you to come and do this too at the end. I said, you know, I pray God rain down whatever karma on you. And I said, I hope you get it all. So then he goes and he was like, oh my God, I didn't use your card. And you can tell when somebody lying, even through a text. When you know a person, you can tell when they lying through a text. So I was reading his stuff. He was like, no, I never use your card. I don't even have your card information. Blah, blah. It was a bunch of stupid stuff. So he kept sending stuff, and then eventually I think he picked up the call, because I wasn't responding. I was done. So I blocked his number. I was done. Y'all, that relationship was just horrible. And if I want to go out and do what I wanted to do, I had the money for it, because I worked. And that's how my parents raised me. Work for whatever, so nobody could ever take it away from you, or so nobody could ever say they gave you anything or talk down on you. And that's what I live by. So anyway, there's more to this story, and I'm going to give y'all a part 2. I just want to say, y'all, ladies, even men out there, y'all don't let nobody use y'all. Don't let nobody break your spirit. Don't let them break your soul. Don't let them hurt y'all. Know your worth. Wait, thanks for tuning in, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go, but make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. Y'all come back for part 2.